Let's go. All right, whether you're a new, seasoned, or veteran traveler, everything I'm about to say should work for you. Everybody should already have WhatsApp communication app on their phones, right? So, this secret formula should also work in any country around the world that people go to vacation. Now, I decided to share this secret formula with you guys after it got me thinking when two of my close, let's say people close in my life hit me up like, yo, I want to come through and experience that kind of life that you're experiencing, but I don't live it. And it got me thinking like, yo, what's the best vacation for them if they were to just come through? So this is not really for the expats living in the country. This is for people like the people who are close in my life and you guys who want to slide into a country and have the vacation, whether you're there for a short term or a long term. For this to make sense, I must explain to you guys how I actually ended up coming upon these theories. Half of it, I stumbled upon it. The other set of it, I developed through the rest of my travels after seeing the results of coming across the first part. Now, everything I'm about to say should work for the 90% of fellas who are just flying in, trying to do their thing, and fly out, right? It should also work for the 10% of guys who are like, you know what? I understand that when I fly into a country, I'm going to be doing the excursions, the everything, but I'm also not looking for the, hey, I got company in the country, if you understand what I'm saying. There might be like, you know what, I could skip that, but if I meet something a little bit more serious, hey, that's what I'm there for. That 10% of guys. The secret formula of action is meant for both. You just got to enact it. Now, the best part of this is it's also going to protect you guys for when you go home. This is not really for the expats who's going to be living in the country necessarily. When you guys go back home, it'll also protect your peace of mind. It'll protect where you don't have to worry about the crazy messages, the crazy photos. Hey, the baby need milk. My fridge is empty. My uncle got ran over by a car. My mama died. My grandmother died 5 times, all right? Now, for a lot of this to truly make sense, because you guys, like I said, will think I'm crazy for this, but you got nothing to lose by trying something different and everything to gain, I have to explain to you guys very shortly how I kind of ran into this thing and was like, God damn, okay, I didn't intend to make this happen this way, but I see it's working right now. Now, for years, I was in a relationship in the past when I started traveling, but there were times when the relationship was rocky, we would break up. And I would travel both when I was single as well as when we were in between, trying to figure it out. And then, of course, sometimes when I was in the relationship. And one of those times we were in between relationships, let's put it that way, but still talking, I went to an island that was part of the territories of the United States. So I guess at that time my Facebook status might have said something like, it's complicated. So I jump online. I'm already boots on the ground. And I'm just like, looking around, see what's there. I end up talking to this one female. She seemed cool. I was like, oh, I'm on this side of the island. She's like, oh, well, most of the action happens on the other side of the island. But, I work for a radio station and stuff. I know that part of the island. There's this place called XYZ. Let's meet up there. So I said, all right, cool. I remember this time I'm still kind of talking to the ex, but we ain't really together. We're trying to see what's going to happen. So I'm talking to her daily, and my mindset at the time wasn't really like I'm looking for something. But I'm on this island, I'm alone, and there's this nice looking female, she wanted to meet up for dinner, drinks, talk. She was kind of giving me information. We talking for like 2 days. No, by the time we linked up, man, this girl is not only just a radio personality, she's on TV, she's on billboards, everybody knows her, and she's like, I'm really cautious about how I date because obviously people here know me. She didn't tell me any of this. I realized this as I walk into the restaurant, as we go places, everybody know this girl. So this is a normal girl, fellas, right? Met her online. Turns out I'm no guy asking her like, yo, so why me? She's like, well, a lot of people come to this island for vacation also. But because of who I am and everybody knows me, I got to be very careful. And typically I don't even date foreigners because they all kind of come for one thing. But you, the way you were talking, the way you were acting, the way you telling me you were moving around the island, you were just different. That's the first half to the key to the lock. She was like, you were moving different. You didn't say you had no women here. You didn't seem to be looking to offer anything for a girl to join you at, you know what, when I'm in my downtime, in the later evenings, etc. So I was like, yo, I think he's different. So first step, fellas, of both types. The first thing you're gonna do, man, is jump on the favorite apps of those countries. Now, every country uses Tinder for the most part, right? So the first thing you're gonna do about a month and a half out before your vacation, you're gonna start looking around. The reason why is because you don't want to look desperate. And if you get to the country that you're going to, the island you're going to, whatever it might be, and things are not popping off, you want to make sure that you've already secured something for, you know, when you're on your downtime, when you're not doing the excursions, when you're not doing the activities of the country, when you're not drinking, when you're not chilling, when you're not resetting your mind. Now, this is extremely important. Whether that person is employed in their 9 to 5 or not, or might be doing half and half or whatever. It might be a side contractor and they might have their regular job. It's up to you to figure that out while you're talking to that person before you get boots on the ground, right? Or at least guess enough, right? So it's very important that you do not make any solid plans. And if that person is unemployed, you do not employ that person to be your tour guide, to be your company as you're rolling around the island. Listen, travel with a friend or travel solo. It's important that when you're moving around and when you get there, you are free to take advantage of any new opportunities that might come about, because you just happen to be going around your day and you might see a better opportunity, you might see a better situation, right? But you know that you got to keep this secure in the bag for when that person, if they're 9 to 5, they're available on a Wednesday or whatever their day off might be, or 2 days. And it's absolutely important that you make sure, hey, you know, what do you do when you come off that 9 to 5? What do you enjoy doing? What do you normally do? You want to build rapport. Now, what you're going to do, fellas, you're not going to be specific as to exactly when you want to hang out with them, but you want to make sure that they know that when you get there, hey, are you typically available on the time that you're going to be there? Now, if you're there for a week, you're going to say, I'm going to be there on the week of, but you're not going to schedule nothing specific. And it's absolutely important that by the time you get to that step, you would have already been talking to this person or while you're doing this on video. I don't care if it's a country where you got different language, you want to still make sure you video call on WhatsApp. Now, cut anybody who make excuses that their phone broken, they don't have the time available, they never were able to talk to you by video. Listen, we're in an era of filters. We're in an era where anybody could just take anybody photos and say it's them, all right? Same for you. You want to make sure that that person has enough attraction to you and continue to talk to you when they saw you on video, and vice versa. You like what you saw. Now, why are you not setting any specific date, time that you're going to meet when you got there? You ain't got there yet. You don't know where the opportunities might be. You don't know what the rest of the environment might be like. You want to keep your options open, but you want to make sure that when you're ready, that person will be available to link up with you. You'll be like, well, we'll make more solid plans when I get there, right? That way, if something better come up, you can always just disappear. You on vacation, right? Maybe you got a little busy. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on. But, of course, that also means that the options for 2 or 3 of them that you already know you've been talking with is already available, especially if nothing pops off in the real world environment. Now, this brings me to the last and most important part of why you're going to move like you don't care, and you're also not going to have any unemployed or employed how should I put it, tour guides that are tagging along with you. Because when you're moving around and opportunities present itself, one, you're not going to have any impediments that you're moving with already. You're going to be available. You're going to see the choosing signals. You're going to see the little smiles. You're going to look also, the most important thing, like you are moving differently than all the rest. You're not going to have the desperation, and you're not going to have something that you're moving around sitting with you right next to you, all right? And most importantly, as a man, you should want freedom, and you should want to have as many options available to your future and your present as possible. That's what life is about, right? So, I have had many a female tell me, oh, I would have never messed with or would never mess with that dude over there who came to my restaurant, who came to my business, who I saw in the streets, who was messing with what is clearly, no matter what your beliefs or what is right and wrong, it's about what she thinks, right? Fellas, whether you're part of the 90% or the 10%, she saw that this guy was rolling around with contract models. And her thought was, I could never talk to that person over there, because if everybody's seen this person doing it, and if this person is seen with me, they'll think that's what I'm about. Think about that, fellas. So now you just removed one or a few or many of your options. And you might say, some of you, if you're part of the 90%, well, that don't matter to me because that was a regular 9-to-5 girl, right? And I'm going to tell you something, though. Here's the irony. You removed your options. The ones who going to be the models and all that, you have none to lose. They're going to come to you. They're going to go to the places. If that's not the type of country, guess what? You could always swipe right, right? And you still ain't going to miss out. So why eliminate your options? That is the last part of the formula to open that lock. Now you're going to have the respectable driver, businessman, whoever else also recommending to you good options that even if you're a 90%er, you know that you now have something solid and guaranteed when you travel again. Now, some of you will already say, but I ain't even looking for nothing. Come on, bro. We all know whether you have something, whether you're in a complicated situation or not, when you're about to go on that vacation, you want options, right? No, you've had the best vacation and thrills. When you jump on that plane before it lands, you want to block first, then delete anything that had an attitude, anything that did not have a reliable employment that is 9-to-5, and anything that became, hey baby, help me with this and that, because trust me, it'll get worse. All right, fella. Do it this as you may. I'm about to forward it to my peoples because I know that's the formula for that honeypot vacation.